vision piece and then stop for a second.
Sure.
So I think, look, as a team, the vision for this business is all enshrined in relevance, and relevance for me has got three aspects to it. Number one is about being relevant to the agenda of the industry as of today, right? So that, of course, comes with in today's context, comes with the challenge of how to help the industry manage disruption. The second part is about being a relevant employer to our colleagues in the firm today, as well as those that we aspire to bring into the firm today. Now, that is all about us being able to offer a value proposition which enshrines itself in quality of work environment, and the value proposition in terms of the offer that you put forward as a package of those two. And I think the third part for me, which is quite relevant for this market, is about the foot in today and foot in tomorrow. Because if you look at our markets, these comprise of economies that are today what I would call well-developed economies and markets, and then there are economies that are potentially the powerhouses of the future. So it is about making sure that we have got a strong footprint in those that are developed economies of today, but equally developing a relevant and growing and sustainable footprint in the economies that are going to be the powerhouses of tomorrow.
Cool. That's good. For impromptu, that was amazing. Okay. 3 things that you're going to be focusing on this year, this fiscal.
Okay, I'm just trying to see how. I mean, that's the easy one, but you can't be too stark. So I guess, okay. 3 things that I want to be focused on this year. I wish I could just focus on 3, but I think that is important to have that priority. So first and foremost is about finding the islands of growth that give us the step-up change in the 2 leading markets in this region, which is Japan and Australia. We clearly have got clients who are very keen to drive transformation that will take them to the next sphere in terms of their marketplace. We need to be making sure that we are working with them to get there. So that's one. The second is about the capability gap. We're living through an amazingly exciting period, but disrupted period, combined with a very strong growth momentum that will invariably create capability gaps. So it is about having an acute focus that we are not allowing the capability gaps in any of the markets to become too wide. We will always be short of resources because of our growth. We will always be short of the resources in the right areas because of the disruption. So that has to be the second focus area. And I think the third is about ensuring that the new evolving markets that we have all got a very strong long-term sustainable growth trajectory. I mean, the key word is long-term and sustainable in that, because they are all capable of growing quite quickly. We need to make sure that they've got a long-term sustainable growth trajectory. That would be the top 3 for me.
Thank you. How does your day-to-day, since you've taken up your current role, how has it changed from being a CSG lead in India to being a regional lead, an OU lead?
Well, I think that question has a flaw in it because it ignores the fact that I had the regional responsibility of being the sales lead, right? So, if it was just as an India CSG lead, then the whole international dimension would have been the first thing that would have hit me. But because I was doing a regional role, that wasn't the case. But I think the big difference between the combination of being a sales lead and the India CSG lead to the OU lead is there I could pick and choose the battles of the day as far as international markets outside of India was concerned, and just focus on those, while Bet as a OU lead was looking across. So now, of course, it is a question that I need to make sure that I am having a balanced view of and presence in all of the markets. So that's one very big difference. The second is as a sales lead, you could be unidimensional, focused only on growth. As a OU lead, you have to be multidimensional in your approach. So a few more things to keep you awake at night is the way I would put it, and a few more places to travel to than what I was doing before. I think the advantage of that brings to the table is it makes you a much more rounded executive, and the second thing is it allows you to come closer to people than the sales lead role did. The downside is, yes, I'm a little bit more distant from my home market, which is India, with Rishi now running that. So that's a bit of a disadvantage. But again, if I flip the side onto the positive, I am starting to get closer to our clients in some of the other markets.
Thank you. Last question. What does Piyush do outside of work?
There are skewed views from my colleagues like PG who have a single-dimensional view of what I do outside of work. But I think, sadly, because of the travel, it does drain away the time that I can get with my family on a day-to-day basis. So my first priority when I'm out of work is family, which obviously attains multiple dimensions, playing around with my kids, shopping around with my wife, and just a quiet downtime at home with the family is first priority outside of work.
Thank you.
Can we try that again, because I think somebody's phone beeped.
Whose phone was that? It's outside. Yeah, outside. Okay.
It's okay. Let's try that again as well. Suppose if
Which one?
The last one. What does Piyush do outside of work?
Okay.
We will include the part about PG. Don't worry. But go for it.
Okay, so should I just ignore? You'll cut the PG bit and put it in,
Yeah.
right? So, I think, look, the sad thing about the job.
Again, don't say sad.
The challenging thing about the job is that it does come with a lot of travel, and the challenge there is that it takes away a lot of the day-to-day time that you could spend with the family. So as a result, outside of work, the priority becomes family, and that takes multiple dimensions. It is just playing around, whatever sport you can with the kids, shopping around and doing things that I and my wife like doing together, or just a quiet downtime at home with the family. That's the first priority when I get time outside of work.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.